What if you woke up tomorrow and realized the only thing holding you back was you? Not the world, not your circumstances, not the doubters whispering in your ear, but the quiet, insidious voice inside your head that says, you're not enough. What if you discovered that voice was lying, that it's been lying all along, and the moment you silence it, the world bends to your will? Would you dare to act, or would you shrink back, comfortable in the chains you've worn so long they feel like home? The truth is, most people live their entire lives in a prison of their own making. They walk through the world with their heads bowed, their dreams buried under layers of doubt, fear, and excuses. They see giants like Edison, who failed 10,000 times before lighting the world, or Musk, who bet everything on a vision of the stars, and they think, that's not me. I'm not built like that. But here's the secret they never tell you. Those giants weren't born unstoppable. They built it, brick by brick, day by day, through a relentless commitment to forging confidence in the fire of action. And you're no different. The only question is whether you'll choose to start building. Confidence isn't a gift from the heavens. It's not a spark some are born with while others are left in the dark. It's a muscle forged in the crucible of discipline, tempered by failure and sharpened by purpose. The man who spent a lifetime studying the minds of the greats, Carnegie, Ford, Rockefeller, I knew this. He didn't preach wishful thinking or empty platitudes. He uncovered a truth as old as time. The person who masters their mind masters their destiny. And the cornerstone of that mastery? Confidence. Not the fleeting kind that comes from a compliment or a lucky break, but the unshakable kind, built daily, that makes you unstoppable. This is not a pep talk. This is a call to arms, a declaration that you can become the architect of your own soul, the sculptor of your own fate. The world doesn't care about your potential. It rewards those who act, who dare, who rise again and again, no matter how many times they're knocked down. So, let's begin. Let's tear down the walls of doubt and build something unbreakable. Let's forge a confidence so fierce that no storm can shake it, no critic can shatter it, and no failure can stop it. This is how you become unstoppable. The journey to becoming unstoppable begins in the quiet battlefield of your mind. Every thought you entertain is a brick in the structure of your life. Some build you up, others tear you down. Most people don't realize they're the ones holding the hammer, swinging it wildly, destroying their own potential. They let fear, doubt, and negativity shape their thoughts and then wonder why their lives feel like ruins. I once said, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Those words aren't poetry, they're physics. Your mind is a machine, and your thoughts are the fuel. Feed it poison, and it stalls. Feed it purpose, and it roars to life. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb by dwelling on his failures. He saw each one as a lesson, a stepping stone to victory. When the world called him a fool, he called himself a student. That's the mindset of the unstoppable, a refusal to let temporary setbacks define the permanent self. Consider the story of Abraham Lincoln, a man who lost elections, failed in business, and faced personal tragedies that would have broken most. Yet he stood tall, not because he was fearless, but because he chose to see every loss as a redirection, every pain as a teacher. His mindset wasn't built on luck or privilege. It was built on the relentless belief that he could shape his future, no matter the odds. That's where you start, with the decision to take control of your thoughts. Right now, your mind is a garden. Some of you are growing weeds, thoughts of inadequacy, comparison, and fear. You look at others, entrepreneurs like Bezos, athletes like Serena Williams, or artists like Beyonce, and think, I could never do that. But those weeds are lies. They're not rooted in truth. They're rooted in neglect. Pull them out. Plant seeds of possibility instead. Start by asking yourself, what if I'm wrong about my limits? What if I'm capable of more than I've dared to dream? That question alone is a spark. Fan it into a flame by choosing thoughts that empower, not enslave. This isn't about positive thinking for the sake of it. It's about deliberate thinking. It's about recognizing that your mind is a battlefield and every day you're fighting for control. The unstoppable don't wait for inspiration, they create it. They don't wait for confidence, they build it. And it starts with a single choice: to reject the lies that hold you back and embrace the truth that you are enough. Mindset lays the foundation, but belief is the fire that fuels it. Without belief, your dreams are just wishes, floating aimlessly in the wind. Belief is the conviction that turns a spark into a blaze, a vision into reality. It's what drove Walt Disney to build an empire from a single cartoon mouse, even when the world laughed at his ambition. It's what pushed Elon Musk to risk everything on SpaceX, when failure meant losing it all. Belief isn't blind, it's a calculated act of defiance against doubt. I call this definiteness of purpose. He studied men like Andrew Carnegie, who didn't just want to build a steel empire, he believed it was his destiny. Carnegie didn't hope for success, he demanded it of himself. That's the difference between the average and the extraordinary. The average hope, the unstoppable believe. But belief isn't something you stumble into, it's something you cultivate. It's a daily practice, a choice to trust in your vision even when the world screams it's impossible. Look at J.K. Rowling, who wrote Harry Potter while broke, rejected by publisher after publisher. She didn't believe because the world told her to. She believed because she refused to let her dream die. That's the kind of belief that makes you unstoppable, the kind that burns so brightly it drowns out the noise of doubt. So, how do you build belief? Start with clarity. You can't believe in something vague. Define your purpose with precision. What do you want, not just today, but in 10 years, 20 years? Not just money or status, but impact, legacy, meaning. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let it sink into your bones. Then, surround yourself with evidence. Study those who've done what you dream of. Read about Ford, who revolutionized industry against all odds. Watch documentaries on Oprah, who rose from poverty to global influence. Their stories aren't fairy tales, they're proof that belief, backed by action, can move mountains. But belief alone isn't enough. It must be tested. Doubt will come, whispering that you are not ready, not worthy. That's when you lean into the fire. Remind yourself of every obstacle you've already overcome. The late nights, the rejections, the moments you thought you'd break but didn't. Each one is a testament to your strength. Stack those victories no matter how small, and let them fuel your belief. Because when you believe truly, fiercely believe, you become a force of nature. Belief gives you fire, but clarity gives you direction. Without it, you're a ship adrift, tossing in the waves of distraction and indecision. I taught that success begins with a definite chief aim, a clear, unshakable vision of what you want to achieve. The unstoppable don't chase vague dreams, they chase precise ones. They know exactly where they're going, and they move toward it with laser focus. Think of Steve Jobs. He didn't just want to build computers, he wanted to create tools that would change how humanity creates, connects, and dreams. His clarity wasn't just a goal, it was an obsession. Every decision, every product, every late night was guided by that vision. That's what clarity does. It cuts through the noise and gives you a North Star. To find clarity, you must first strip away the clutter. The world bombards you with expectations, society, family, social media. They tell you what success looks like, what you should want. But their version of success isn't yours. Sit in silence. Ask yourself, what sets my soul on fire? What would I do if failure wasn't an option? Don't rush the answer. Let it simmer. Write it down, refine it, until it's so clear you can see it, feel it, taste it. Clarity isn't just about knowing what you want, it's about knowing why. Why does this matter to you? For some, it's freedom. For others, it's legacy. For Henry Ford, it was making cars accessible to every American. For Malala Yousafzai, it was ensuring every girl could learn. Your why is your anchor. It keeps you steady when the storms come. And they will come. Once you have clarity, protect it. The world will try to pull you off course. Distractions will tempt you shiny opportunities, quick wins, the lure of comfort. But the unstoppable say no. They guard their vision like a fortress, letting nothing and no one dilute it. That's your challenge. To define your path with such clarity that every step you take feels like destiny. Clarity points the way, but discipline builds the road. Dreams without discipline are fantasies, evaporating in the heat of reality. I call discipline the bridge between thought and accomplishment. It's the daily grind, the choice to show up when you're tired, when you're scared, when the world offers you 1,000 excuses to quit. Look at Kobe Bryant. He didn't become a legend by talent alone. He was in the gym at 4 a.m., shooting thousands of shots, studying film, refining his craft while others slept. His discipline wasn't flashy, it was relentless. Every day, he built his confidence by proving to himself he could do the hard things. That's the secret. Confidence isn't born in comfort, it's forged in effort. Discipline starts small. It's not about grand gestures, it's about consistency. Wake up an hour earlier. Read 10 pages of a book that challenges you. Write one sentence toward your goal. These aren't sexy, they're powerful. Each small act is a brick in your foundation, a vote for the person you're becoming. Over time, those bricks build cathedrals. But discipline isn't just about doing, it's about not doing. It's saying no to distractions, to people who drain you, to habits that sabotage you. It's choosing the hard right over the easy wrong. When Jeff Bezos started Amazon, he didn't chase every opportunity. He focused on one, building the world's most customer-centric company. That discipline turned a bookstore into an empire. The world will test your discipline. It will tempt you with shortcuts, with comfort, with the illusion of later. But later is a lie. The only moment you have is now. So, commit to one disciplined act today, then another tomorrow. Stack them, day by day, until discipline becomes your default. That's when you start to feel unstoppable, not because you've arrived, but because you've proven to yourself you can keep going. Discipline builds the road, but action moves you forward. Nothing happens until you take that first step, then the next, then the one after that. I said, do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have. The unstoppable don't wait for permission or perfection, they act. Consider Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She didn't have a business degree or a trust fund. She had an idea and a willingness to act. She knocked on doors, pitched her product, and faced rejection after rejection. But she kept moving. Each step, no matter how small, built her confidence. Each action was a declaration. I am capable. Today, she's a billionaire, not because she was fearless, but because she was willing to act despite her fears. Action is the antidote to doubt. When you're stuck, when fear creeps in, the answer isn't to think harder, it's to do something. Write the first sentence, make the call, take the class. Every action, no matter how small, is a vote for your belief in yourself. It's a signal to the universe that you're serious, and the universe responds. Doors open, opportunities appear, not by magic, but because action creates momentum. But action isn't reckless. It's strategic. Hill taught that every action should align with your definite chief aim. Before you act, ask, does this move me closer to my vision? If not, pivot. If yes, go all in. That's what separates the unstoppable from the aimless. They act with purpose, not just motion. And here's the truth. Action doesn't require confidence. It builds it. Every time you act, you prove to yourself you're capable. You don't need to feel ready. You just need to start. The confidence comes after, not before. So, take the leap. Make the move. The world rewards those who dare. Action propels you. but gratitude keeps you grounded. In the rush to achieve, it's easy to focus on what's missing: more money, more time, more opportunities. But that mindset is a trap. It blinds you to the abundance already in your life, and it robs you of the joy that fuels persistence. I believe gratitude was a magnet for success. When you focus on what you have, you attract more of it. Look at Oprah Winfrey. She rose from a childhood of poverty and abuse to become one of the most influential women in the world. Her secret? She never stopped being grateful for every lesson, every opportunity, every person who believed in her. Gratitude didn't just make her happier, it made her unstoppable. Gratitude isn't passive. It's a practice, a discipline as vital as action. Start each day by naming 3 things you're grateful for. Not just the big wins, the small ones too. The sunrise, the friend who listens, the fact that you're still here, still fighting. These moments anchor you, reminding you that you're already rich in ways that matter. Gratitude also shifts your perspective. It turns obstacles into opportunities, failures into lessons. When Thomas Edison's factory burned down, destroying years of work, he didn't despair. He said, "All our mistakes are burned up. Thank God we can start anew." That's the power of gratitude. It reframes your reality, giving you the strength to keep going. Make gratitude your shield. When doubt creeps in, when the world feels heavy, return to it. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Let it remind you that you're not starting from zero, you're building on a foundation of blessings. That's how you stay unstoppable, by carrying gratitude as your compass, guiding you through the darkest nights. The path to becoming unstoppable isn't a straight line. It's a winding road, full of detours, dead ends, and unexpected storms. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter is adaptability, the ability to pivot, to learn, to evolve. I call it the quality of being able to bend without breaking. The unstoppable don't cling to plans that no longer serve them. They adapt and thrive. Look at Netflix. It started as a DVD rental service, mailing movies to homes. When the world shifted to streaming, they didn't cling to their old model. They adapted. They reinvented themselves, not once, but again and again, becoming a global powerhouse. That's adaptability, the courage to let go of what was and embrace what could be. Adaptability begins with humility. You must admit when you're wrong, when your strategy isn't working. Pride kills progress. The unstoppable aren't afraid to pivot. They see change as a chance to grow. When Elon Musk's first SpaceX rockets failed, he didn't double down on a flawed design. He analyzed, adjusted, and tried again. Each failure was a lesson, each pivot a step closer to the stars. To build adaptability, embrace discomfort. Seek out challenges that force you to stretch. Learn a new skill. Talk to someone who disagrees with you. Travel to a place that feels foreign. These experiences teach you to bend without breaking, to find solutions when the path disappears. They build a confidence that's flexible, not fragile. And when life throws you a curveball, and it will, don't fight it. Lean into it. Ask, what can I learn here? How can I grow? The unstoppable don't fear change, they master it. They know that every twist in the road is a chance to become stronger, wiser, better. Adaptability keeps you flexible, but resilience keeps you standing. Life will knock you down. Failure, rejection, betrayal, they're not possibilities, they're guarantees. The question isn't whether you'll fall, it's whether you'll rise. I said every adversity carries with it the seed of an equivalent advantage. The unstoppable don't just believe that they live it. Consider J.K. Rowling again. Before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon, she was a single mother, broke, and battling depression. Publishers rejected her manuscript a dozen times. Most would have quit. She didn't. She kept writing, kept submitting, kept believing. That's resilience. The refusal to let failure have the final word. Resilience isn't about avoiding pain. It's about moving through it. It's about standing up one more time than you fall. Look at Muhammad Ali. He didn't become the greatest by winning every fight. He lost plenty. But he never stayed down. Each loss fueled his fire, sharpened his focus, made him stronger. That's what resilience does. It turns your scars into armor. To build resilience, start with perspective. Failure isn't the end, it's feedback. When you fall, don't ask, why me? Ask, what now? Every setback is a chance to learn, to grow, to come back stronger. Then, lean on your why. Your purpose is your anchor. It reminds you why the fight is worth it. And finally, surround yourself with those who lift you up. No one becomes unstoppable alone. Find mentors, friends, a community that believes in you when you struggle to believe in yourself. Resilience is your steel. It's what keeps you standing when the world tries to break you. Forge it daily, and you'll find that no storm can topple you. Resilience keeps you standing, but learning keeps you growing. The unstoppable never stop seeking knowledge. They know that success isn't a destination, it's a journey. And every step requires new skills, new insights, new perspectives. I spent decades studying the habits of the greats, not because he had all the answers, but because he knew learning was the key to progress. Think of Leonardo da Vinci. He wasn't just a painter, he was a scientist, an engineer, an inventor. His hunger for knowledge made him a legend, not because he mastered one field, but because he never stopped exploring. In today's world, that hunger is non-negotiable. The pace of change is relentless technology. Markets, ideas shift faster than ever. The unstoppable don't resist that change, they learn from it. Learning isn't just about books or courses, though those matter. It's about curiosity. It's about asking questions, seeking mentors, studying failure. When Amazon's early experiments failed, Jeff Bezos didn't retreat, he learned. He studied what worked, what didn't, and used that knowledge to build a juggernaut. That's the mindset of the unstoppable. Every experience is a classroom. Every challenge a teacher. Make learning a habit. Read daily, even if it's just a page. Listen to podcasts that challenge your thinking. Talk to people who know more than you. And most importantly, learn from your own life. Reflect on your successes and failures. What worked? What didn't? What can you do better tomorrow? The unstoppable don't wait for wisdom to find them, they hunt it down. You stand now at the edge of a choice. The world will keep spinning, with or without you. It will offer you comfort, distraction, excuses to stay small. But you weren't born for smallness. You were born to build, to create, to leave a mark that echoes long after you're gone. The question is, will you answer that call? Becoming unstoppable isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about waking up each day and choosing to build your confidence one thought, one action, one lesson at a time. It's about mastering your mindset, fueling your belief, finding clarity, forging discipline, taking action, practicing gratitude, adapting to change, staying resilient, and never stopping learning. Each piece is a thread in the tapestry of your greatness. Look at the giants who came before you. Edison, who turned failure into light. Lincoln, who turned loss into legacy. Musk, who turned dreams into reality. They weren't gods, they were human, just like you. They doubted, they stumbled, they bled, but they kept going. They built their confidence daily, and it made them unstoppable. Now it's your turn. So rise. Silence the voice that says you can't. Tear down the walls of doubt. Build a foundation so strong that no storm can shake it. Act even when you're scared. Learn even when it's hard. Be grateful even when life feels heavy. Adapt even when the path twists. And never, ever stop. The world is waiting for you, not the perfect you, but the you who dares to show up. You are the architect of your destiny. Build your confidence daily, and you will become unstoppable. Not tomorrow, not someday now. Start now. The world is yours to shape. You've built the foundation mindset, belief, clarity, discipline, action, gratitude, adaptability, resilience, and learning. But what holds it all together? What gives every step meaning, every sacrifice weight? Purpose. It's the flame that burns at the core of the unstoppable, the reason they rise when others fall, the light that guides them through the darkest nights. I call it the definite chief aim, but it's more than a goal. It's the why that makes you who you are. Purpose isn't found in a single moment of revelation. It's not a lightning bolt or a divine whisper. It's a fire you kindle through action, reflection, and courage. Think of Nelson Mandela. For 27 years, he sat in a prison cell, stripped of freedom, mocked by his captors. Yet, he never wavered. His purpose to end apartheid, to build a nation of equality, wasn't just a dream, it was his lifeline. It gave him the strength to endure, to forgive, to lead. That's what purpose does. It turns your pain into power, your struggles into stepping stones. Your purpose doesn't have to be as grand as Mandela's. It doesn't need to change the world. It needs to change your world. Maybe it's creating a business that lifts your family out of struggle like Sarah Blakely did with Spanx. Maybe it's inspiring others through art, like Frida Kahlo, who painted her pain into masterpieces. Or maybe it's simply living a life of integrity, being the person your younger self dreamed you'd become. Whatever it is, your purpose is your compass. It points you toward your true north when the world tries to pull you astray. To find your purpose, listen to your heart. What makes you lose track of time? What injustice makes your blood boil? What legacy do you want to leave behind? These questions aren't easy. They're meant to cut deep, to peel back the layers of fear and distraction. Write down your answers. Refine them. Test them through action. When Howard Schultz returned to Starbucks as CEO in 2008, the company was crumbling. He didn't just chase profits, he rekindled his purpose to create a third place between work and home where people could connect. That purpose saved Starbucks and redefined an industry. Your purpose can redefine your life, but purpose isn't static. It evolves as you grow. The unstoppable don't cling to an outdated version of themselves. They adapt their purpose to fit who they're becoming. So, revisit it often. Ask yourself, is this still my fire? Does this still call me? And when you find it, protect it. The world will try to douse your flame with doubt, with noise, with comfort. Don't let it. Feed your purpose with action, with learning, with gratitude. Let it burn so brightly that it lights your path and inspires others to find theirs. Purpose gives you direction, but legacy gives you immortality. It's the mark you leave on the world, the echo of your existence long after you're gone. The unstoppable don't live for themselves alone. They live for something greater. They build not just for today, but for tomorrow. I believe the true success is measured not by what you gain, but by what you give. Your legacy is your gift to the future. Consider Andrew Carnegie. He didn't just build a steel empire. He built libraries, schools, and foundations that shaped generations. His wealth was a tool, not a trophy. Or look at Maya Angelou, whose words lifted millions from despair to hope. Her legacy wasn't just in her books, but in the lives she touched, the hearts she opened. Legacy isn't about fame or fortune. It's about impact. It's about creating something that outlives you. Your legacy starts now, in the choices you make today. Every act of kindness, every bold step, every moment you choose courage over fear, it all adds up. Think of Rosa Parks. One refusal to give up her seat sparked a movement that changed history. Her legacy wasn't planned, it was lived, moment by moment, through her unwavering commitment to justice. You don't need to be a hero to leave a legacy. You just need to be intentional. Ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? Not by the world, but by those who matter most. Your family, your community, your tribe. Do you want to be known as someone who dared, who loved fiercely, who never gave up? Then live that way today. Teach your children resilience by showing them how you rise after a fall. Inspire your friends by chasing your dreams with relentless passion. Build something, a business, a book, a bond that carries your values into the future. Legacy is built in the small moments as much as the big ones. When Steve Wozniak and Steve Jobs built the first Apple computer in a garage, they weren't chasing fame, they were chasing a vision of personal computing for all. That vision became a legacy that reshaped the world. Your legacy doesn't require a global stage, it requires a committed heart. So plant the seeds now. Water them with purpose, with action, with love. The harvest will come, not just for you, but for those who follow. Legacy gives you meaning, but faith gives you courage. Not faith in the religious sense, though that may guide you, but faith in yourself, in your vision, in the unseen possibilities that lie beyond the horizon. I call it the eternal elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. Faith is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. It's what lets you leap when logic says stay. Look at Harriet Tubman. She escaped slavery, then returned to the South again and again, risking her life to lead others to freedom. She didn't have guarantees, only faith. Faith in her purpose, in her strength, in the idea that a better world was possible. That faith made her unstoppable. It turned an ordinary woman into a legend. Faith is not the absence of doubt, it's the decision to act despite it. Every great achievement begins with a leap of faith. When Elon Musk poured his fortune into Tesla and SpaceX, the world called him reckless. Analysts predicted failure. But Musk had faith not just in his companies, but in his ability to learn, to adapt, to endure. That faith carried him through bankruptcies, breakdowns, and betrayals to build empires that redefined industries. To build faith, start with evidence. Look back at your life, the moments you thought you couldn't survive, but did. The goals you achieved, the fears you faced, the obstacles you overcame. Each one is proof that you are stronger than you think. Stack those victories like stones, building an altar to your resilience. Then, look forward. Visualize your success so vividly it feels real. See yourself standing where you want to be, running that business, crossing that finish line, holding that book you wrote. Faith grows in the space between your past wins and your future vision. But faith demands action. It's not enough to believe, you must move. Take one step, no matter how small, toward your dream. Send the email, make the call, start the project. Each action strengthens your faith, proving to yourself that you're capable. And when doubt creeps in, as it will lean on your purpose, your legacy, your why, they'll remind you why the leap is worth it. Faith gives you wings, but courage keeps you flying. The unstoppable aren't fearless, they're brave. They feel the same fear you do, the same knot in their stomach, the same racing heart, but they act anyway. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the refusal to let fear win. I said fear is the tool of a man-made devil. The unstoppable know this. They face the devil and stare it down. Consider Angela Merkel. When she became Germany's first female chancellor, she faced a world of skepticism. A scientist from East Germany, leading a nation in crisis, critics called her unfit. Yet, she stepped into the fire, leading with quiet courage through economic turmoil, refugee crises, and global uncertainty. Her courage wasn't loud, it was steady, rooted in her commitment to serve. That's what courage looks like, showing up again and again, even when the world doubts you. Courage is built in the moments when you choose to begin again. Every failure, every rejection, every setback is a chance to start over. The unstoppable don't see failure as the end, they see it as a beginning. When Walt Disney's first animation studio went bankrupt, he didn't quit. He packed his bags, moved to Hollywood, and started again. That courage gave us Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, a legacy that spans generations. You'll need courage to become unstoppable. Courage to take the first step, to face the critics, to stand up after you fall. It starts with small acts. Speak up in that meeting. Share your idea, even if it's imperfect. Say no to something that doesn't serve your purpose. Each act of courage is a brick in your confidence, a step toward the person you're meant to be. And when fear feels overwhelming, remember this. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means you value your purpose more than your fear. So breathe. Step forward. Begin again. The world is waiting for the version of you that dares to be unstoppable. Courage drives you forward, but connection keeps you grounded. No one becomes unstoppable alone. I emphasize the mastermind principle, the power of surrounding yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support you. The unstoppable know they can't do it all, but they don't have to. They build a tribe, a network of allies who share their vision and lift them higher. Think of the Wright brothers. Orville and Wilbur didn't invent flight in isolation. They leaned on each other, combining their skills, their ideas, their grit. Their connection wasn't just familial, it was a partnership of purpose. Or look at modern examples like Serena Williams, whose success on the court was bolstered by her family, coaches, and mentors who believed in her when the world didn't. Connection turns a spark into a wildfire. Your connections shape your destiny. The people you surround yourself with either fuel your confidence or drain it. Choose wisely. Seek out those who challenge you to grow, who celebrate your wins and pick you up when you fall. Find mentors who walk the path you're on. Build relationships with peers who share your hunger. And give back, lift others as you rise. The unstoppable don't hoard success. They share it. Connection also means connecting with yourself. Listen to your intuition, your gut, the quiet voice that knows what you're capable of. Meditate, journal, reflect. These practices strengthen the bond between your mind, heart, and soul, aligning them toward your purpose. When you're connected to yourself and others, you're not just unstoppable, you're unshakable. You've traveled far. You've built a mindset that rejects doubt, a belief that burns bright, a clarity that guides you, a discipline that drives you, an action that propels you, a gratitude that grounds you, an adaptability that bends without breaking, a resilience that rises from ashes, a learning that never stops, a purpose that fuels you, a legacy that outlives you, a faith that dares you to leap, a courage that keeps you flying, and a connection that holds you steady. Each piece is a thread in the tapestry of your greatness, woven daily through your choices, your actions, your heart. Now, stand at the edge of this moment. The world is vast, chaotic, unforgiving. It will tempt you to shrink, to settle, to hide. But you weren't born for shadows. You were born to blaze trails, to carve paths, to build something extraordinary. The unstoppable aren't chosen, they choose themselves. They choose to act, to believe, to endure. They choose to build their confidence daily, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Look at the giants who came before you. Marie Curie, who defied a male-dominated world to unlock the secrets of radioactivity. Martin Luther King Jr., who faced death threats to fight for justice. Malala Yousafzai, who stared down violence to champion education. They weren't superhuman, they were human, just like you. They doubted, they feared, they stumbled, but they rose. They acted. They became unstoppable because they chose to keep going day after day, step after step. Now, it's your turn. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You need only the courage to start where you stand. Take the first step today. Write the first word. Run the first mile. Make the first call. Each action is a declaration. I am enough. Each choice is a brick in your confidence, a stone in your legacy, a spark in your fire. The world is watching not to judge, but to be inspired. Your children, your friends, your community, they are waiting for you to show them what's possible. So rise. Silence the voice that says you can't. Tear down the walls of fear. Build a confidence so fierce it radiates, so strong it endures, so bold it inspires. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not someday now. You are the architect of your destiny. You are the fire that cannot be extinguished. You are the force that cannot be stopped. Build your confidence daily, and you will become unstoppable. The world is yours. Shape it.